Hi, guys. What's
Hi.
up, Candace?
I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, but it hasn't been forever. Just so much is happening. What the hell?
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Candace.
And welcome to Don't Start.
And as we like to say, don't start.
Candace, save it for the show.
Exactly. So let's get to it.
Good morning, everyone. Have you had your coffee
I
this morning,
did what you
Candace?
do, which is I had 3 sips. I put it in the refrigerator, and then I saved it for 2-3 hours later. And now here we are, and I'm having the same cup again. I reheated it.
Oh my God, you've been up for 2-3 hours? That's the thing I want to talk about.
Yes, I've been up since 2-3 hours because I did the thing. I had to get all the things ready before I jumped in our recording. I was like, do all the things.
What did you have to get ready?
Child,
What are the things?
The
Not all the
cooking,
things.
the breakfast, the snack. Tom took him to a Gymboree class, which is always fun because he always comes back with some story about another kid. And I'm like, I feel like we're gossiping about other people's children. And he's like, no, but this other kid, he came over to Maverick. I'm like, relax. He's worse than me. So it's always interesting when he takes him out while I do work because there's always a story that comes back. How are you?
I think that's funny because I also think it's a different experience for the dad because there's usually, don't mean to say it, and it's not supposed to be sexist, but it is traditional in conventional terms, a lot more
Yes.
women with
That
their
is so
children.
true.
The moms are
So
traditionally
true.
the
And Tom says
ones.
he gets
So he's
yes,
observing
that's very true.
as an
Yeah,
outsider.
no, you're so right. And he gets not side eyes from the ladies, but he gets a, oh, where's your wife? He gets that energy towards him. And
Or does he get that maybe he has a partner at home?
maybe. I mean, Tom can
we're
go either
always
way.
their
We know
partner.
that. So it's he always feels a little like fish out of water. And also I'm noticing this. Are you like this? I think I'm competitive, and I'm competitive to a certain extent. But I am not competitive with my kid. I don't if he's not the best one in the class, I don't care. Whatever. You're 2. You're going to be 2, whatever. And Tom's very
Yes.
he didn't climb today. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I feel like when the bubbles are being passed around, he should participate. And I'm like, you're getting intense about nothing right now.
Did you tell Tom that it's too early for that? Wait
It's
till
too
he's in
early for a lot of
sports.
things. And then I think he's going to go the other way. When he's in sports and competitive, I feel like Tom's going to be like, yeah, whatever. I feel like right in this moment, he's being competitive. And then I have a funny feeling as he grows, Tom's going to be like, whatever.
I always tell or talk to Chad when he says I'm competitive. I'm like, but I'm not competitive with others. I find myself competitive
Which is
within
the
myself.
healthiest way to
Or
be.
competitive to I mean, I guess it is. Why shouldn't it be okay with where we
Oh,
are at? But
I don't
I'm
know.
competitive with myself and also proving I could do something. That's something I'm big about
Oh, yeah.
proving. So if someone says, "Oh, you didn't do that," I was like, "Yes, I played soccer," or trying to prove if we go scalloping, despite me not being the typical in the water snorkeler, I got the most scallops. I mean, that obviously is
I was just
PTSD
going to
from
say
an
the fact that you're
experience, but
snorkeling.
I was determined. The fact that I'm talking specifically about
A specific
scalloping
moment
says
in
something.
time.
No, when I'm told it's not Sarah or she can't do it, then I rise up like,
I love
what?
that.
I can do
Were
this.
you, let me ask this, were you
Yeah.
like that so when Tom and I first started dating, we were obviously in the same field, both in theater, both auditioning. Did you,
Yeah.
or when you first met Chad, did you feel competitive with certain things with him? Because Tom and I did in the beginning, weirdly, in the way of I'm going to make you better and you make me
No.
better in this field because we were both in the same field.
But that's not competitive. I think that's
That's a
motivating.
good, yes,
Wouldn't it be?
it very much was. I don't think it was competitive, but are you competitive with Chad?
No. I mean, he would probably, if we play poker, maybe.
Yes.
I'm not going to, there's things that I'm like, backgammon. We'll play backgammon. And I'm like, I don't get it. Or chess. I like chess.
No, I don't like it.
I can play chess.
No.
But I don't think like my brother and Chad do. I am more action packed than tactical. Tactics and preparing 3 steps ahead. I kind of am more of proactive, immediate response kind of thing. I will go get the ball. I will tackle that person. I will sing 16 bars immediately.
God, I love that you went to sing 16 bars immediately. I will never sing 16 bars immediately unless you're handcuffing me to an audition.
we were on live events this weekend. Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. And
Woo!
and there was this one moment where we had a transition. And you know us, we are show
Yes.
people. So we don't want dead air. We want to keep things moving, energy moving forward. And I said, if you guys need a 16 bars to fill this, I will always have one
Sarah, you should
prepared.
always have a camera
And I
going
got
because I
them.
think you're going to do it one day. And I feel like we need to share that on all the socials because we need to see you doing that. But I'm laughing
Okay.
that you're saying,
I think the WWE universe will definitely capture, like, what is this
no, I
crazy
love
girl
it. I'm
doing?
laughing that you're saying dead air
Inevitable.
because when Tom and I first started dating, we went out to dinner and I will
Yeah.
never forget this. We had like a quiet moment and he goes, "This is dead air, people." And I started laughing and we were like only on like our second date. And I had a moment where I was like, we're going to be saying this forever because, and now we, of course, all these years later, we do. If there's like a
Yeah.
quiet moment or if he asks my mom a
Yeah.
question on the phone and she doesn't answer, he's like, "This is dead air,
Dead
people."
air. That is
You know, it
very
made me laugh, but
funny.
it also brings
I
us
love
to our
that.
guest. Today we have Alyssa Pettinato in the house. I'm so excited. She is the host of Misjudged podcast. I was on her podcast recently. She's so funny. She's like a guru on dating. She like brought me back to when I introduced Tom to the family and family dynamics. And I feel like, even though she'll probably tell us, she's a little bit of a therapist because she's been through a lot. So she's got like all the lingo of like what works, what
Okay.
doesn't. She's here to talk about all dating apps and what dating is like today. But her podcast in particular is like a funny, brutally honest dating, relationship, and comedy podcast. She like points out the red flags in situations, in breakups, commitment issues. She touches on modern dating, which I think is honestly, we have some friends that are single. I have some cousins that are single. It's chaotic, the modern dating world today.
But did you know she also works in large scale event production and
Oh,
luxury
she
weddings?
full on, what you know me, I love weddings. She full on gave me like the 411. I'm like,
Yes.
"Hi, I'm literally planned your entire wedding. And I can tell you right now, the morning of the wedding, if this is going to last." Because she's been around so many people and so many relationships that she's like, "This will
That's
not last." It was great.
hysterical.
Like all the drama that it made me giggle. Just all this, you know me, I love stories. I love drama. I love families. And she was like, "The crap that I see go down on a wedding day, I can tell you if this relationship will last and if this marriage will last."
Well, bring in Alyssa. Hello, Alyssa. Welcome to
Can you
Don't
guys hear me?
Start.
Hey,
We're thrilled to have you.
thank you so much for having me.
How long have you been a relationship expert? When did it was like, oh, I understand how this all works?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've always been that friend in the crew, giving
Yeah.
everyone the advice. So it made it easy when I went to college because I just got a degree in psychology. So,
Yeah. I
but
saw
like,
that. You got 2 degrees,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Advertising. So I was a little undecided on what I was going to do in
Yeah.
life. But it really kind of solidified for me like being a wedding planner when I was like
Yeah.
witnessing all these dynamics and people are making the ultimate commitment. And I'm just like, oh, that was a choice. Like, are
And
we sure?
have you made that choice yet in your life?
I almost did, and then I called it off. We were a COVID casualty, thank God, because we probably would have been getting a divorce right now.
Right. When did you call it off? How close to the wedding?
So we got engaged and then the world shut down. And I was like, I need to
Right.
plan this thing and I can do it in like 6 emails. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be the girl. When I get engaged, I'm not having like the
Yeah.
3-year engagement. It's going to be like within the 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, so it
Yeah.
was like, we're
I'm
gonna
on this.
plan
You
one.
might judge this. I'm on the 4-year plan. I'm 4 years engaged.
Wait, but it's your choice, right?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
like, I'm not planning anything without you. But we also had we lost both our fathers in 1 year. But it's very cool that you came first in event planning and wedding planning right out of college. Was that kind of where you went into?
Yeah, I kind of fell into it. Like, I was 22 and I was just broke and working in advertising. And I was just like, oh, God, this is not going to be my life. So it wasn't like
Right.
something where I thought about what are my strengths and weaknesses. It was like I was doing it for a charity. And then I was doing it for my friends who started a music startup. And I was just like, I could just make some extra money. And like, so I fell
Yeah.
into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just kind of worked out.
You fell into it, but you're someone that's a doer immediately, right? You were someone that multitasks and you're going to figure it out. It seems like as an entrepreneur, it's just exactly like even moving into this podcast, the Misjudged Podcast. What a great name. It's fantastic. When did you start that?
So same situation. Yeah, I am a doer. You completely clocked me. It's like, I don't know if it's like the Gemini in me. I don't know what it is.
I'm a Gemini too.
Yes, queen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
We're
I get it.
defrosting. It's about to be our season.
I know. I started planning my birthday for myself. It's inevitable. I mean, Chad can do it, but I'm just like, I'll start it. Women.
Yes. I always plan my birthday. I've never had anybody else take the reins here. And like, they never try also. So it's like, it's me. But yeah, no, like with the pod, it was just kind of like, I really wanted to do it in 2020 when I was engaged. My fiance at the time was like, why would you do that? He kind of talked me out of it. So I had the name and all this stuff, but I didn't start it until I was telling my girlfriend about it. And she made a joke and was like, I should be your co-host. And I'm a doer. So like I immediately did it. We did one season together and then, she was like, this isn't for me. So now it's just me.
So I think, first of all, I was thinking about your background in psychology. It does make sense with you going into advertising as well, because you're psychology of the consumer, right?
Exactly.
But now moving into relationships, I mean, I love studying relationships. I love sociology and how people like communicate and handle each other. I think is amazing to study. Relationships are their own entity because of personal choices. And do you love studying them? Do you find them humorous? And
Yes.
how does it affect you in dating?
Well, so my friend actually, there's a few things. My friend called me out the other day because he was like, I listened to the pod and like, I just need to know. So do you just like date fucking losers or like, oh, sorry. Can I curse?
Yes, of course.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Do you just date fucking losers, or like, are men really like this?" And I was like, "No, they're really like this. Like, I'm not dating losers. Like, I'm dating accomplished men that are like all the things on paper, and they just get off the clock. They go on to a date, and all of the decorum and like sense of sensibility seems to just leave people's bodies. Like, these people are highly educated sometimes. Like." It doesn't really matter. Your interpersonal skills are a completely different beast. So it's like interesting to me. I've diagnosed a lot of people with a lot of things over the years. And like, I'm just making jokes, but like some of them were very legitimate. Like I definitely dated a clinical narcissist, just one. Not everyone's a narcissist. And he was also bipolar. So like, literally, I mean, also his mother was bipolar, so it was like a thing. But anyways, I digress.
You're like, I know too much. But I loved one of your posts you had recently. There's these buzzwords that we've added into relationship studying or psychology, like narcissism and it's so true that yes. Tell me about intentional dating.
It's so ridiculous. Okay, Sarah. Like every single man, like one man heard a woman on TikTok be like, I just want a man who's intentional about what he wants. And like they took that shit and literally ran for the hills. It's on every profile. It's just insane. And like 90% of the people using this word don't even know what it truly means. Like they will put on their profile, they want to date intentionally, and then it will be like casual, don't want kids, maybe not sure. It's like you don't even know yourself and what you want. How are you going to date somebody with intention? Because what it truly means is like, I have an end game basically that I want to achieve. So how do you want an end game when you don't even know what you want, sir? Like,
And that's what I was going to ask you. Like, how many people are blaming relationships when they should blaming themselves on working on yourself and studying what makes you happy and what making sure we are whole. Yeah. First and foremost, before putting it on another person.
Well, there's like an epidemic going on with both sexes right now. So the women are over consuming content from each other. So we're all each other's girlfriends. We're like, that man ain't shit. He's gay. Like he didn't kiss me. Like we're all doing that stuff. And if you are on that side of the algorithm, you can truly get trapped there and stay there. And that's all you'll see. So they're over consuming that type of stuff. The men, on the other hand, are seeing some of this stuff and they're just like, women hate men. And so they're coming into things defensive and slightly confused, where they're like, I know I need to be masculine, but not alpha. And like, they're getting confused. So like the women are banding together to like kind of, give the men shit and kind of make them, I'm not going to be like a male apologist, but like, I do feel like they're just like, they're very confused about what do we want because they're seeing different women say different things.
Well, I'd
So,
say like we've empowered women, and I think it's a
yes,
beautiful thing, right?
of
To do what we
course.
want. And we
Yeah.
love that. But I do feel like I remember a girl that was dating in Los Angeles was very much like anti letting him pay, anti letting him hold the door. And I was
Yeah.
like, wait, but just like I love that Chad will walk on the other side of the sidewalk that's on the street side. And I never even thought of it, right? I'm fine. No, and he's like, that's just something to be a gentleman and protect me. But I think there's things innately as an animal that there
Yeah.
is a protection type of style. I think there's a balance of it of, and we talk about masculine versus feminine energy and how, it isn't necessarily I'm a man and I'm a woman, but it flows. And I think
Yeah.
we should flow even as a couple.
Like no two people are going to be the same, right? So like a
Right.
lot of these things it's like an overgeneralization of like, what should there really should be some type of like dating etiquette and decorum. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do on my pod. Where I'm just like, look,
Yeah.
if you want a second date, show up right on the first date. Like all the things that should be common sense, but common sense seems to
Yes.
have left the building. But like we're
Yeah.
getting too into the weeds with like what we're telling people to do. It's like be yourself, be
Yeah.
yourself. But
Okay. Got it.
if yourself is wanting something casual and you're trying to date this girl, you're pursuing her, she wants marriage and kids, pursue someone else. And I
Yeah.
want that woman to like wake up and be like, just because he likes you doesn't mean you have to like him back. Like,
Yeah.
so there's a lot going on there.
I think, I also like another story that bothered me was like when people don't want to have a full on first date because they have gotten so negative or it's like a numbers game, if you will, too, right? That you're like, oh, I'm whether you're swiping or however you're finding I don't even know how the modern dating is going anymore. The last time I did it was on Bumble, that I attempted a modern date kind of like that. But they're like, oh, we'll just make it like a quick one, right? Like just go get a quick drink. But like, no, go into it like it could be something. But
Yeah.
not investing even in a first.
I feel like that's because they have content brain, right? Is that what we call it? They just
Yeah. That's a
take
great
and
term. I love that. I think that people aren't investing because people like those are the people that are super jaded, and those are the people I always
Yeah.
say you should take a break from dating. Like you probably
Yeah.
need to take a break for 2 months, just go out, have some fun by yourself, travel, and then come back to it. Like those are the people that are there's two people ruining the game for everyone dating. It's the people that are no, truly, the people that are jaded,
I love
like,
this.
take a break.
Yeah.
Go take a break.
Yes.
Maybe get into some light therapy, work through it. And then they're dating the people that are like lovers.
I love it.
And the
Yeah.
lovers are getting hurt. So they're like, in turn, kind of like becoming jaded as well. It's like we're all working against each other.
Right. I think that's brilliantly put. I love that idea of like, just walk away and take a break because the day that I met my fiance, I was overworked. I had no time for myself. So I said, I'm having a me day for me. And I literally went Modern Art Museum, went to the Botanical Garden, took myself to dinner. I said, oh, I had a great day. I'm going to go stop at the brewery. And that's when we met each other. And I'm like, I'm having a me day. Like, this is for me. And it, like, I told Candace before, I said, all of the things that I thought, I didn't know that moment was going to happen just then. And now it's been 8 years later, You just don't know when that person will walk into your life. And Candace, you knew very early on.
I did. I feel like that's weird today, right? Because I feel like we have so many, I'm going to call it options because I have like
Yes.
cousins and stuff that are dating and they're always just like I hate to say content brain again, but it is on to the next thing. When I started dating, I was a kid. I was 16, 17. I met Tom at 17. So it was like very, very different for me. And I kind of was like, this is my person. But I will say, we talk about red flags when red flags are coming at you. There was red flags like flying with Tom, not because he was a bad person, but I was young and I was like, our families aren't the same or whatever it was. And there was things that were coming at me. I think Sarah can totally relate to this too. And it was like, do you just walk away after, a bunch of red flags? And what's the limit like for each person? Family was a big thing for me. I'm like, you have to be able to migrate and fit in with this giant, crazy family. And he did. Tom's like a chameleon. He was able to fit in. But I think a lot of people struggle with that sort of thing of like how to bridge the gap between the new beau, the new girl, the new partner, and then it's like the family dynamic, and then also too like when is it time to call it quits because it doesn't work?
I mean, I think a lot of people are. So here's my thing, and this happens as we get older, especially as women and men. So I think about the things that I thought were red flags in my 20s and very different. And the way that I was in relationships was very different when I was in my 20s versus in my 30s. So now, and I tell my friends this, and, I'm not really, because I'm a Gemini, I'm super adaptable, but like I see a lot of people as they get older get very set in their ways, and then they also start to put more red flags on people as they get older. They're more self-sufficient, especially the women. My friends like out earn their part. They're like on their own. They're good. So their limit for entry for men is like here. And if they do one thing, they're like, you're out. You're like disqualified. You're like not qualified to ride this ride, right? So
Alyssa, I always say that. I said people get too good at being on their own. I loved my space when I was by myself and living on my own. You get too good at it. You're like, I got this, which is a fantastic thing. I mean, I'm happy we can find that. However,
yes,
to be able to open.
Right.
I mean, like when I've dated guys where I've said to them, like, I don't think you have the ability to make space in your life for someone else. Like they're getting too good at being alone, where you kind of can't make any room for someone else. And that's a double-edged sword. I've had conversations with friends where I'm like, oh, so like you want to meet your husband, but like you're forever traveling and you're not putting yourself out there. And anytime you do, if he laughs weird, you're going to throw him away. So like maybe you got to look inward. You like really making space for someone? And they're like looking at me, and I'm like, I'm that friend where you're gonna get the honest truth. So
we love it. We love
I love that. I want honesty, and I think that's something that we're at a place also, I feel like, in the content overload that a lot of people are like, I don't want that negativity, and they just walk away. But relationships are hard, right?
Yes.
And there will be something that bothers you, and that's when a good relationship stands up and then we fight for it. And that's something that I've been even seeing, like not just husband and wife, but in friendships where someone doesn't do something like, but no, maybe that person really needs you now, and their negativity is showing. I really need someone to bring me that warmth and support.
Truly, I had this realization in my engagement because we were not, seeing eye to eye, and it was like a little bit toxic for a second there when we were trapped inside in COVID and you're just not working out.
Yeah.
And I talked to my mom, and I was just like, oh my God, like this is just probably how engagements are. And she was like, no, like what you should be focused on is, are you fighting productively? Because like you don't need to be fighting, by the way, that's a bad word, but your disagreements, because you're two completely separate people, you're never, first of all, if you're with anyone where you just 24/7 see eye to eye, that person works for the CIA, because that doesn't even exist. Like,
Wait, dying. Wait, I'm dying. No. I had a conversation with my cousin the other day, and she was like, do you fight with Tom? And I was like, wait, do you think I don't fight with Tom? Well, I just feel like you guys are always smiling around one another. I was like, well, we definitely enjoy each other. We also definitely fight. And anyone who doesn't have that sort of, I don't want to say bickering or banter or whatever it is, you have to hash that out. If you don't, I agree with you about the CIA. I'm concerned. What are you doing? When are you letting out your aggressions?
No. The people that like don't know how to have a disagreement productively, you don't know how the other person handles things. Like I've had a partner where I was like, hey, he's mentioned he did something with his ex, and I was like, hey, you know what? I feel like that might be a little disrespectful, and I don't enjoy that. And he got so hot, and he was a calm, quiet introvert. So when I see this, and I'm just sitting there like, is this how you handle like the slightest thing that you're in the wrong for? So like, it's actually good to see the other side of it, because if you've never had a fight with somebody and then you're married with a kid and now you're having a real situation, maybe that person is the type of person that needs to leave the house for 2 weeks, and you're just finding that out. Like,
Oh, interesting.
I laugh because I always say whoever dated me in my 20s and like, or friends in my 20s, like, and we're still friends, I'm like, God bless you. Like, because of my ability to grow as a person, to realize the way to communicate. I'm still friends with one of the guys I dated in my early 20s, and I just laugh because who I am as Sarah in a relationship now is totally different, because I've tried to work through it. I understand now what I need to do in a relationship better. Don't understand it all, right? We're always evolving and trying to navigate this crazy puzzle of two people for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
But I do find that I'm more aware of how to productively
Yeah.
disagree.
Alyssa, I have a question.
Yes, go.
When you say to someone who's currently in the dating world, also trying to navigate, even just finding a partner, when you say put yourself out there, I think of, put myself out there, go to a bar and
Yeah.
go to a club and meet someone. Hello, Kansas 2004. But that's where my brain that.
Good. Yeah,
I'm
what's happening in 2026? What's the
What
most
is
common
happening?
thing?
Yeah, what do we do? Like, what advice do you give to those people?
So it's different for each generation, right? Because the millennials are still like, we were raised at like Marquee and, we were pre-gaming with Four Loko, like different vibes. Gen Z is just not about that life. The club scene is
No.
dying. So like for the younger generation, it seems like these clubs they're really like group oriented, community oriented. Like Gen Z is extremely community oriented. Like they don't like to do things solo. So they'll go on group dates. They'll go to like run clubs. Like these are the things that Gen Z is like thriving with. They have these little events sometimes for like
What the hell is a group date? Is it like a bunch of people that already know each other?
no, there's an app I don't remember the name of where you can like just say you want to go out with your 3 friends and like go match with 3 guys and like maybe you just make friends.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think that's great.
I
Good
could have
for
used that.
them.
I
They sound very positive. They're
Yeah,
doing good
well,
things.
they don't drink.
Maybe they, yeah, they need exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
Completely, it's
matcha.
true.
Yeah.
They're doing like a
Do they take?
20-step skincare routine. I was doing like a vino and that's it.
No,
Yes.
I'm
No,
doing
we were doing the Clinique 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
even Clinique. I was passing out on my best friend's couch with my mascara on and waking up the next morning and being like, lick and under my eye, wiping it and just moving on.
No,
Literally.
Candace, don't even say that. You lay.
It was
Literally,
bad.
I think the best thing I ever did was proactive for like 2 months in my 20s.
Yes.
And like they're
Yes,
doing like
proactive was
20
a big
steps.
deal. That's
Are they
right.
taking gummies? Are they doing gummies like marijuana? Or what is their thing? Matcha.
No, I mean people
Matcha.
are just not really down for alcohol. I feel like they're doing other
Yeah.
things, but
You're
yes,
you're right. You're
but
right.
the millennials are like, yo, what the hell? Like we want to go. So like millennials will be out at bars and they'll be on the apps and stuff like that. And they're
Okay.
I don't think anyone should be. I get so much shit every time I post a clip where I'm like, oh, in the apps, and guys are on there like, you're a loser. Only losers use that. But I'm like, first and foremost, you wish. Number one. Number two, why would you be embarrassed about putting yourself out there?
Yeah. Yeah, like, hey, loser, try to be on it. Like, I get a kick out of these people. They're highly critical. And usually it's the case because they're insecure and they have their own issues. Loser. Like,
No,
get out of here.
It's the people
Yeah.
on the couch watching the football game that's like, you dropped the ball. And I'm like, can you do that better? It's the same thing. Really,
Mhm.
really.
Yes, yeah. All the
I,
people that criticize you on the internet, like you like go look at their page, and you're like, okay.
yeah. Have you found good relationships on apps?
Yeah, I've met great girls on Bumble
Yeah.
BFF. I have great friends
Yeah.
from like putting myself out there in that way. And
Yeah.
I'm not married, but I've met amazing guys. Like just because it didn't
Yeah.
work out doesn't mean they're terrible.
Right.
Well, I told a story recently. The last guy I did a dating app with on Bumble, I literally swiped on him. Looked like Prince Charming, right? Like literally, I was like, oh wow, this is like perfection. He went to the same college as me,
Ooh.
same years I was there, and he was in film as I was in theater. Like everything made sense. That we were like, whoa, like how did we not? He worked in the same neighborhood that I lived in Los Angeles. We met. And like literally, I was just waiting for the sparks, and they just weren't there. And I was like, "No, bro, this it makes sense." And like
You
that's
really
something.
need this to work.
I wonder how many people in relationships always have sparks and chemistry, and do people always seek that, or just seek a good partner?
Oh man. See, I am the wrong person to talk about the spark thing because I am so pragmatic. I just like
Okay.
honestly, even with my fiance, right? It was like a complete whirlwind. We got engaged in 3 months. So like you hear that and you're like, oh my God, sparks immediately. Like the first date, I literally left and was like, I'll probably never see that guy again because I thought he hated me because I showed up 40 minutes late, which is so not my speed. I got kidnapped on the freaking subway. And so
Oh, let's go to that story.
yeah, he seemed like upset. And then he didn't kiss me until like the 5th date. And so it was kind of just like a very slow burn. And then once it took off, it took like 7 or 8 dates. But so like, I think some
That's
people are a
interesting.
slow burn. Like I'm a slow burn because I'm too like, I don't want to say smart. I don't know what the word is. I'm too like real to be like, this is my husband. Like the first 10 seconds I meet him, you know, like,
No.
I don't know. It's interesting because I don't know, Candace, if you find this to be like maybe it's the weird theater girl in me that wants to like, or maybe it's the Disney, you know, growing up on Disney. As I said, Prince Charming, that you're like, oh, the bird sang and I met him. But I met Chad with a handlebar mustache at a brewery and I said, my first line was, why does it smell like hot dogs in here? That was like my opening line. So it wasn't romance. It was like complete honesty. They grilled hot dogs outside and they brought them inside because it was raining. I was like, well, it's disgusting. Like, but like, you know, but there was something about knowing that person that Candace and I were talking about. For some reason, it felt easy, that my soul felt grounded in a place that I could talk just honestly with them. I guess maybe that's a more mature way to say it, that it wasn't singing birds and it wasn't this like electric shock. It just felt grounded.
yes.
That's a good way of putting it. I like that. And I will have to second that in the groundedness because I found love so early that you would think it was chirping birds and like the prince. It wasn't. It was sort of the same energy, which was just like, ooh, I cannot be without this person. That's all it was. It was just like immediately when he came up to, he asked me for gum in a bar. Like, he's like, do you have gum? And I'm like,
I mean, I think that's a good opener.
I'll say this. I spent the rest of the night asking other people for gum. And when I found it, I gave him the piece that I found. And because I was just interested to talk to him more than anyone else. So it wasn't like immediate, like in that second, but it took about a couple of days of realizing, like kind of what Alyssa just said, those 7 days where it like hit you, where it was like, oh, okay, this is probably my person because I don't feel I'm like this with anyone else I've ever met. It was just instant in that way. But the whole birds chirping thing, listen, I think it comes later on too. Like we've had months where it was like fairy tale, and then we had months where it was like, this is work, you know? Like I think every relationship goes up and down with that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I think like, and I've had this conversation with a lot of my friends that are like, oh, we had like one bad moment and we got to throw the whole relationship in the trash. And I'm like, okay, so you think like a marriage is going to be always just seeing eye to eye and everything perfect all the time. And the second you have a bad day, you're going to get a divorce. Like, no, that's just not even realistic. But I agree. I think that any time I've had the best time dating is when I've been absolutely unhinged and feral because I wasn't really trying. Truly, like I tell my friends this, they get so upset. They're like, you know, like you're always in relationships. I'm like, I'm literally never looking for one. Like I'm never over here. Like I'm gonna meet my husband. I'm like, I just want to like see how this goes. Like let's just have fun.
Well, ironically, Chad had just, like, he had red flags. He's younger than me, and he said, I'm not emotionally available. The first time we're just talking, bro. Like, I'm not emotionally available. Because he had just got out of a long-term relationship, and she cheated, and I think he'd gone through an emotional thing. And he to this day talks about, he did the Seinfeld thing, where he did, I guess, like Costanza does everything opposite of what he would typically do. Because I was like, oh, okay, I had a great night. I said, well, why don't you come home and let's have a good time? And literally, he said no. And we both woke up the next day, and he was like, he woke up and he said, why didn't you just go home with that girl? And he was doing the like Costanza, don't do what you normally would do. And I woke up being like, what did I do? I really liked that guy. Why don't you just play it cool? Then we DM'd each other and he's like, I gave you my number. And I ran out to the car to get the napkin of his number. And I sent it to him. He said, that's not my phone number.
Wait, that's even funnier.
It was bliss, guys. It was bliss at first start.
Love it.
You know, you can't, like, that's a story, but you can't, like, formulate that to become the perfect relationship. You know what I mean? It's, so.
People force things a lot. And this is the problem. Like, I am like over here just living my life. In fact, the guy that I'm dating right now, like he sat me down like 2 months after we'd been going on a few dates, and he's like, "So do you like me?" And I'm like, "I've just been over here like doing whatever, you know." And he's like, "Can we just be exclusive?" And I'm like,
Oh,
I didn't even sure. Like I had to think about it for a second. I was like, "Do I want to be exclusive?" You know, like have I even been
yeah.
paying attention to this? Like truly, because I was just on my own journey.
So listen, I'm just gonna like dig in a little. Is there a future for you in your mind of like your life where you are married?
Okay. I think about this a lot because I definitely want to be married, but I know the type of marriage I want, and I don't know if a lot of people can give me what I want because
Mm.
I want a marriage where it's not just 100% centered around the kids. And I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
a lot of men that I've dated think that like once you have kids, like you just kind of stop living your life and your identity, and you
Oh,
like revolve everything around them, and you can no longer travel
Yeah.
and all this. I'm like, I will be traveling with my husband solo sometimes, like,
Yeah.
and I will be going out
Yeah.
with my girlfriends occasionally, and that will be my life.
of
And
course.
a lot
And
of
I think
people
that
don't.
I think you'll find it because I think that's so important. Like I said earlier, it's like finding your happiness individually then brings happiness as a whole together. And also security and being faithful, right? If you're
Yeah.
satisfied wholly, but also have this partner that allows you to be you, like
Yes.
that's rare, right? Where
Yeah.
like you cannot change people. We cannot change them. So if
Yeah.
you see a fault and you can't live with it,
Yeah.
then you can't live with it. You know
And
what I
I mean,
mean?
like,
but I will say
Yeah.
this, so many years of being married, I've learned one thing, and this is also from watching other people. Marriage doesn't make a relationship better. It makes it harder. So if you, and then what I mean by that is, yes, marriage, you get better if you're in love. But what I'm saying is, don't marry the person thinking they're going to change once you're married. Oh God. I had so many friends and people in my life that have been like, well, once we're married, it'll be different. I was like, girl, if it's hard now, it's going to get worse when you get married because it adds a whole new level of just complications, wonderful stuff, but also complications. So you don't change a person by marrying them. I just need to say that because I think people, both sides, think, oh, once I marry her, she'll be different. Once I marry him, he'll be different. And I'm like, oh, no, it doesn't get different. Does that
no.
make sense?
Yeah.
No, and I agree with you. And I'm thinking of all the marriages I've seen, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm happy to be single because people always
Yeah.
like to pretend that the single girl is so unhappy, and
Correct.
I
Yes.
gotta say, is not
Correct.
the
Yes.
case.
I literally had this conversation with the makeup artist this week who we were just talking about relationships and like, yes, I found my partner now, but I'm not saying like I said you'll just bump into them and it'll be it. But I said, but you don't have to if you don't want it. You are an amazing, awesome human and society isn't saying, you know, I'm not saying that, but society may make you feel less because it's not traditional. But you're a badass woman with an incredible career, an incredible life, your own home. I never want to say like a relationship makes you whole, right? And that's
No.
where I like wanted to make sure I was saying in the moment of like, you know, you'll find someone. I don't want it to be that way, right? But I was trying to give her hope, but also be like, but you're also an amazing person on your own. So what I was going to say about exclusivity,
Yes.
do you think right now it's important to have that discussion because people will keep enjoying their lives? I had one experience where I assumed in Los Angeles that we were together, and I was at the Emmys. I was doing Emmys red carpet. I was like texting him the whole time. I arrive at his house in a red dress thinking like we're texting the whole time and we're like been together. We've been in each other's homes. We've been together for months. And I knock on the door in my red dress from the Emmys. And he said, "You can't come in. I have another woman." And I was like, whoa. And I looked like the red emoji with the red dress where she was like, sping, and she was
Oh,
out of there.
looked so
But
hot.
I was more like, no, I was shocked. I wasn't angry per se. I was more confused because I was like, you wanted to date me, and now I show up and you're not choosing me. Did I miss the communication? And maybe I didn't realize I needed to have that.
Yeah, so that was a situationship. So,
Yeah.
you know, so like, and you know, we were before our time with that because we didn't even have it defined at that moment, probably. You know, like this is a newer term. So, I would say, look, anytime I have been over here, like I'm kind of a menace because I'm like, everyone's single till they're married. But like, I make this joke and my partner
I
probably
love
wouldn't
it.
like that. But, don't let your boyfriend hold you back from your husband. Just kidding. But
I get a kick out of that. I think it's great.
look, like if you're with somebody and you're not sure about them, then keep dating. Like there's nothing wrong with that if you haven't had the conversation. You don't need to feel like because someone went on 3 dates with you, like you have to be in a relationship with them. But however, that is telling. Like it's telling. Every single man that has dated me exclusively immediately asked me to stop dating other people. Like second date, third date, they're like, I want to just date you, by the way. And it's like they knew what they wanted, and like that is hot. When you know what you want. But there was a few people that said that, and like I got the sense that they wanted me to be exclusive. If you catch me.
Oh, but not them.
They were like, I want, but like I felt like they were like, I want you to be exclusive with me. And I'm like, what about you, bro?
Yeah.
So, it is a door that swings both ways. But if you are unsure about somebody, that speaks volumes. Like, what do you need to see from them in order to just test it out? It's exclusivity. You're testing it out. Like, you're not committing to marriage. People really just need to get out of their own way. We're overthinking this. We've lost the plot,
My whole thing is I wasn't sad. I was more like, whoa, I just didn't see that coming. You're a redhead, but the redheads you got to watch out for.
I'm with you. They're problematic.
There you go. Watch out. Redheads.
I get stunted though, Sarah. I'm kind of like you. I get stunted where I'm like, is this actually happening? And I float above my body and I'm like, am I actually living in this moment right now? But Alyssa, I was going to say, it's so refreshing to hear you talk about like what you want, what you won't settle for, because I think we kind of get pushed into society thinking this is all we can have, or this is what is supposed to happen at this point in our lives or wherever we are. So I think it's really, really wonderful that you're like, this is what I want. This is what I won't settle for. And by the way, if I live the rest of my life a certain way that's not like everyone else, I'm actually really happy. Are you? And I think it's great that you point that so many people don't. They don't get it. They're not even like looking inward on themselves to be like, am I happy? Or am I just checking boxes, boyfriend, fiance, wedding, marriage? Like, are you just checking boxes or is this what you want?
No, they are doing that. People are truly thinking just about like, I want to be married instead of what is marriage after the wedding day. So like when I've gotten messages from people being like, they get depressed after the wedding, actually. It's a thing called wedding blues. Yeah. Like it's a real thing. And I do feel like the people that get depressed after the wedding, those might have been the people that were just mostly concerned with the wedding, not the marriage.
Interesting.
Because, like, why are you upset? This is the next phase of your life. This is what we just worked for. So, like, I've never understood the wedding blues. I've always found them to be a little bit toxic because I'm like, well, why are we sad? Like, you don't ever have to go on Hinge again. Celebrate. Like, I don't get it,
Oh, my God.
I wasn't sad. I was exhausted. Tom looked at me and he was like, we're not going to do that again. I was like, not for another 15, 20 years. Like,
no, we'll just do a baby announcement that's a minor, like smaller version of your wedding.
That's what we do.
I have 2 questions before we let you go because we don't want to take up too much of your time. What is the biggest problem you find right now, and what is your best advice for everybody out there?
Okay, this one is going to be shocking. I think the biggest problem with dating right now is people do so much homework before they even go on a first date with you that they think they know you. And they think that they already know how you are. Like, I have a pod, right? So people have come to first dates with me and been like, oh, I think that you're... And I'm like, why are you going to tell me who I am instead of let me show you who I am? And people do that even with people that don't have podcasts. Like, they'll go to their LinkedIn. They'll go stalk their Instagram. They'll... see how many friends you have in common.
Hey, listen, they're doing work. A lot of people just don't do anything.
You know what? When she said homework, I got like anxious. I was like, what kind of homework? And
I'm like, wow, you know my resume? Thanks.
It's crazy because if you just bumped into this person on the street, you
would
might
never
be like, this is great. You're learning about each other.
Right.
Completely.
It's fine to like check and see someone gainfully employed. They're not a serial killer or a sex predator or whatever. But like, why are you... I've had somebody search my friends, like, why do you know this person? I'm like, I don't even know that person. I have 17,000 followers. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like we're getting too wrapped up in trying to figure someone out before we actually get to know them.
I'm also going to kick it back to school and say, don't judge a book by its cover, right? Like, so many people do that. And I think social media has made that worse. That is enhanced because
Yes.
we can just go on and find out. But I will say this, when one of my friends or my cousin's currently dating and she goes somewhere, I'm like, text me your location before you go because I get nervous. I'm like you said, a predator, a killer. Like, I just don't know. So I'm very like a nervous Nelly with that. So anytime a friend of mine goes out on a date or something, I'm like, tell me where you are. Send me a picture of him. I was like, do a quick video on the table. She's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, I just want to know that you're safe because dating's interesting these days. But I think that's really good advice that you just gave. So moving on.
Yeah, I've been reckless with that on a few dates.
I think that is a problem. I also think like, yeah, we have these presences online, but that is not who we are as people. Like I try to find that like even for me with work, I'm like, it's like my business card now. It's not my identity and my soul, I find for me. And that's how I'm utilizing it. So if someone does look at it, I'm like, oh, she's so glamorous. And like, obviously you see me today, I'm like as a total schmo in New Jersey right now. So, but like,
You're
that's
beautiful
a
schmo.
problem. Oh,
Yeah,
got it.
it is
Thanks.
a
But what's
problem.
your best advice for people looking for their lovers?
No, my best advice is always so G-rated and it sounds corny, but like I really just want everyone to return to being uniquely them because I feel like everyone's trying to fit into a mold and do what they think they need to do and date people they think they have to date. And you know, I go to a bar and like this is really afflicting Gen Z. I see a group of Gen Zs and we all used to coordinate our outfits when we go out with our girls and be like, what are you wearing? They're not just wearing black. They're all the exact same. They're wearing it down to the sneakers. It's the sneakers, the wide leg jean, and a black crop top. And I'm like, we've lost identity. Like we've truly lost identity.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so like
Be
somebody
you.
like me, you know, people get like freaked out by me on a dating app because it's just like, what the hell is this? Like she's just like doing and saying weird things. I have a photo of me on a scooter and like stuff that I'm like, I've been rejected for having that scooter. Like girls aren't supposed to ride e-scooters. I'm like, whatever, just be you. It's economical. I live in Manhattan.
I love it. One of the biggest things that always upsets me is when I see people get mad about like misspelling. I'm like, come on, somebody typed really quick and put your versus your. You guys know what I'm saying. Like it's just.
Listen,
I mean, I
I
like spelling, so as much as I do say that, but it's like, come on, it's just a bit of an error.
I am the world's worst speller, so I would probably someone would not date me because I can't spell anything. But I will say I've had a few friends when I was living in LA and living in New York where they're like, you live in the Valley or you live on the Upper West Side. Oh, I'm in Jersey
Yeah.
or ooh, I'm in like Boho.
Yes.
We can't meet up and we can't date. And I'm like, because you live too far and it's only 20 minutes. It's just like this weird energy. But that is the thing where it's like the locations.
agree.
Well, I will say with that now that Ubers to go 10 blocks are like $30, it is like
Yeah.
a whole commitment
Wow.
of your money now. So I do think that I understand that a little bit more.
That's just like financially, it doesn't make sense. Gas is too high. But I used to say that in LA too, Candace. Going from the valley to the beach, I was like, it's effort. So like, if you're not going to put that effort in our relationship, and I'm not just talking about a boyfriend, a friendship, and I was like, then
Everything.
that's sad to me. But you have to put effort into it. But fiscally, it doesn't make sense. So maybe I'm changing.
I don't know. I feel like maybe the whole point of dating is like, does it practically make sense for you financially? Is something that should be on the list.
Truly, it is. Like, and honestly, I mean, I have friends that live in areas where they have to drive and they're like, you know, what are we going to do? Like drive an hour each time. We got to go see each other, like meet halfway. Like, is this like, you know, and it's hard to make stuff like that work if you have demanding jobs. So it does play a role, but you know, look, I've had people pursue me that live in LA. If they're going to fly here to see me, you can come from Brooklyn, you know?
Yes. Yes.
You can come from Dumbo to the West Side. It's fine.
Yeah, you
You'll
come to me though. I got the puppy,
Oh.
you know?
Oh, yes, of course.
The dogs have, we all have dogs. The dogs have to be okay. That's how I feel.
Last dating story. I dated a guy that said, when we're married, the dog won't sleep in the bed. Guess who still sleeps in the bed? Not that guy. See ya. I thought that was a funny comment. Get out of here. And first of all, when we're married,
Because why? Who
Yeah.
are you, sir? My dog is 14. He is my 14-year-old child. I've known him for
Yeah.
14 years. You think
Yes.
that he is going to be a second-class citizen? I'm sorry, I don't even remember your name. I got to go back on the app and look. I don't even know. What?
Alyssa,
Yes.
I'm
Oh
dying
my
right now
God,
when you
too
say
good.
second class citizen. I'm also thinking 14 years, I know you 14 minutes. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God.
Dating, man. We love your mind. You're such a brilliant, beautiful babe, and wishing you all the continued success.
I know.
Love if
Love.
you want it.
Alyssa, will you come back in a little while and tell us some updates about the dating world and also your current situation? Because I kind of want to follow.
Oh, always. I'm an open book. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
my for being here.
start. Yeah, have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful weather here in the Northeast.
Yeah.
It was beautiful the last 2 days.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Okay.
And anything you need, you let me know.
Oh,
Okay,
we'll be
thank you so
calling
much,
you
love.
back.
Yes, we shall. See you,
Bye, guys.
love.
Wait, she's awesome. And like, tell me she's not like so spot on with how she feel. Like she's the type of person that like taps in immediately and is like, this doesn't feel good, moving on. Like she's got a strong will about her, a great view on dating and how, what she will accept and what she won't accept. And I think it's really good for people to know that you don't have to accept the bad in order to be happy or in order to live a life that like you want or follow statistics, check the boxes, all the things. So I admire her. I love that she's spreading that energy out to especially even the younger generations where they kind of I don't know. I think it's a really good way to just keep us on our toes in the world of what we will allow in our lives and what we won't.
Okay, but piggybacking off of that, it's my biggest problem right now. We
What?
cannot just be like, oh, get your negativity out of my life. Yes, there's bad people. May we identify that. But if
Whoa.
you get a bump in the road, breathe through it, where you have to refine your ability to communicate.
I
I
feel it.
have trouble right now where so many people are being like, oh, they're negative in all different relationships. If you,
Sure.
I'm saying like, this is not dating, dating for sure. If things are not vibing, man, and you're not having it, there's people out there. But let's not be so quick to be like, swiping, moving on.
Well,
Give people a
I think
chance.
you're
Let's give
I
people a
think you're right.
chance.
I think you're right. I also gonna go back to content brain. I think our brains today move too quick that we're just on to the next
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
see this out. Maybe it's good, right? Like, yes,
Yeah.
I love the idea of don't settle, but you have to feel things out, right? You have to know and really explore relationships, friendships,
Yeah.
partnerships, all those things.
Yeah.
I do think swiping makes it very easy to be like, yeah, no, nay, and so quickly. And like she said, they're judging books by covers before they even meet because it's like you go on social media,
Yeah.
you find out everything about everyone, and then you have this preconceived notion of what this
Yes,
person
but that's not the person, right? That's not
Right.
that's not our soul, Candace. Our
You know,
social media is not our humanity.
now I'm
It's
sitting
an
here going, if someone goes on my social media, are they going to be like, I know exactly who Candace is, and then meet me and be like, it is the same, or I don't know.
I think you are very honest with who you are online. I have been going, like I told you, I'm the opposite right now. I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve on social media. I protect that now in my life. No, I
It's
protect that. That's something that I've chosen to do. I like my social media to represent my business side of who I am, and I want my emotional side to be with the people that I love, that are my
I have a
people, not
question.
out. Yeah. My 20-year-old self was like, oh, I'm doing talking to camera. I'm just not, I would love
Oh.
to talk. I'll talk to my dog like that.
Yes. I will say, I love, you're right. I do love putting out like awareness of like, things that I'm going through health wise. I do love all that. So you're right. I do put out some personal stuff. But I will say,
Well, I
because
was just also saying in your everyday, like, no, it doesn't even have to be the heavy stuff because I think you and I, even on this platform, actually want to talk about the meaty stuff, right?
real things that make us human.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
She was phenomenal, and the thing that I found, just like you said, is that she knows herself. She
Yes.
speaks what she feels, and she
Yes.
doesn't hold back. And in my opinion, I am always attracted to people like that.
I am too. Maybe it's just a thing that we feel she exudes confidence, so she gives me
Yes.
some confidence, right? It's like we
Oh
like
yeah,
that energy. So maybe she can come back and update us on her relationship and like
yeah.
I think dating in a year is going to be different than it is right now. And, you know, human
God.
connection is going to be different in another year. Like, so I do think we can always have these beautiful people back.
She had me multiple times with one-liners that I was like, that is so true and that is so funny. But speaking about how quick time changes in relationships, Chad and I had a second proposal because the diamond ring, the diamond was wiggly, so he had to send it back to the jewelers. And it was 2 years later, and it was after we've been through a lot of our relationship with loss and stuff. And let me tell you, that proposal was so different than our first proposal, and it landed in a different way. And like, just to know how quickly relationships change, people change, but how we have to continually evolve and rediscover what works in our partnership is so important. But also, like, going for the ride. Let's not be afraid of going for the ride with someone that is your person, right? And hold on in tough times, but also, like, not only when people are negative, maybe I said this, maybe that's when they need you the most.
Yeah, maybe, depending on how much you want to give to them.
And hopefully you had a relationship with them prior to that. Not how they kick off the first date, though. Hell no.
No.
We want positivity and effort. Hold the door. Pay for my meal. Oh, I had somebody split. Did not. We split the bill and then split the leftovers.
I forgot to ask that.
Pineapple fried rice. He took half of it.
The fact that you remember the meal just shows you how much it scarred you. Pineapple fried rice.
I might find what I'm going to write about. I might have found my book. One of my favorite quotes from a guy that was a very serious relationship, almost got engaged. You know the person. I don't want you. I need you.
Oh, I remember.
This. I don't need you in my life, but I want you in my life, and I don't want it ever to be anything different.
Sorry, you know what? I love that. That's a good quote. Don't ever forget it. But my grandmother used to say this.
Don't ever forget it.
I don't need anybody. I choose.
Yes.
She used to say that to me all the time.
I want you in my life, right?
I choose. I choose you all the time. Also, Mama, your diamond is wiggly because you use your hands too much. It happens. My diamond was wiggly. I use my hands too much. Over and out.
Uh-oh. Ayo. Don't start. All right. Love you, girl. Talk soon.
Thanks for joining us today.
You can follow us on Instagram at Don't Start Podcast.
Or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll see you next time, friends.
Don't Start is produced by Anthony Street Productions.